I'm here, I'm just sore. No, at this point, I know it's not the vaccine side effects. It's the owning a fucking uterus side effect. There's somebody on YouTube, somebody on Periscope. That's nice. I keep calling it Periscope. It's really just still Twitter. Periscope itself is shut down. Hi, Paul. I'm starting to sound like Tommy Wiseau every time I greet you. Like, oh, hi, Mark. We're gonna start officially in a couple minutes as usual. I'm just pre-complaining before we get to the serious complaining. Should probably put my little glove on because it's important to wear protection. Tuck. One day I will remember to change my ticker. If only I had a brain. That'd be dangerous, probably. Gonna type the rules as usual, so if you guys could please behave for once. But then again, that is pretty hypocritical of me to say because I'm the one that behaves the less on these streams. Alright, where's my script? Oh, that's done. Click. That's kinda done. I'm never really super hungry during lunchtime, so I've had a yogurt. Don't worry though, I eat plenty during breakfast and supper. That's not an issue. Did the pretzel that rocks but not kick in for this song? It does not look like it kicked in. Don't tell me I'm gonna have trouble with chat today. Oh good, it's working for the second song. Okay. Everybody is always encouraged to keep me talking, or else I'm going to fall asleep, and then you'll have 4 hours of nothing and a little bit of snoring once in a while, I guess. I don't know if I snore. I'm asleep, so... So for those that were worried, I did finally get my first vaccine this week on Thursday. Then I had back pain and nausea. But as we already know, nausea has no effect on me because I have a cast iron stomach. So I had no problem eating. It's not a recent thing that I'm struggling with eating during lunchtime. and have a little sip because it's important to stay hydrated even if you're not saying a goddamn word. Today is cherry Kool-Aid. To the new people watching one of these for the first time, I am capable of drawing better than this. I choose not to. I wake up and choose violence every morning. Oh, another fun one to try and pronounce. Mu TV. I'm pronouncing it in French because that's what I do. Could be Maux TV, could be Mux TV. I choose Moo. You're Moo now. Hello, Moo. Oh, that's another easy thing to pronounce. Now playing BGC418 featuring C418. Ah, yes, of course. So basically the song is called Big Giant Circles featuring C418. And it kind of sounds like an off song. Been a long while since I've seen off. I know Mortis Ghost made at least one other game after Off. I don't even remember the name, it was completely different. During one of the Inktober's from a couple years ago, 2015 I think, I had decided that my theme was going to be indie video games, mostly indie RPGs, and part of the series was the Off characters. I believe I did characters from Off, Yume Nikki. I know I sold a lot of the Off cards, not a lot of the Yume Nikki ones. Not sure if there was another one. It's been a while, I mean, 2015 and all. Now for better pacing, I'm making Mom sing the smooth line, but in real life I said the smooth line, and then she laughed. Because like me, she's very easy to entertain. Let's see if I leave the pupils there. I like drawing myself looking manic. Because that's the thing when you're working on comics for someone else. Most of the time you kind of have to tone down what you do. Because they don't have the same feel as what you're doing. Because Bootleg Cookie is purely comedy and me just doing whatever I want with my art. But like, for example, I can be a little looser on certain projects and not at all on more. Like literally more often than not, I'm making it sound like a complaint because it's funnier, but when I work on Auric, when I do the colors on Auric, oftentimes Andrew will have to tell me to tone down the saturation on my colors. And he has every right to ask that of me because I do like to use more RGB, bright neon, saturated colors, which sometimes will not come out nicely in print. That's why you gotta use CYMK. Or oftentimes, the palette that I use will have some shades that are way too bright compared to the rest of the panel. Like when we first started working on Oryx 6, Oryx 5, sorry, Oryx 5. There's a part in the comic where Oryx is underwater and there's a toolbox behind him, and the toolbox was like commanding the attention because it was too red, but it needed to be browned down so the focus would get back on Oryx himself. So basically, at least doing one bootleg cookie a week lets me just like go ape shit with my colors and my cartooning. Because it's good to let loose sometimes, as long as it's within legal parameters. Speaking of letting loose, Metopia is out, but I opted out of buying it right away. I'm just gonna put it on my birthday list so Mom has something to buy, because there's going to be another Asterix book this year. But they always come out in October. My birthday's in September. You see the problem? So I'm just gonna wait for my birthday to ask for Metopia. I'm fully capable of buying it on my own. What I am saying is that Mom likes to get me stuff. And it's not like it's an obligation to buy me games. It's just she always complains I don't know what I want, so there, I know what I want. She's more than free to ask me if I want something cheaper. And I'm more than free to tell her if I do. It's not like I'm going to suddenly decide she's the worst mom of the year because, oh my gosh, she didn't get me this game or that, or oh my gosh, she's still my mom. Calm down, it's just a game. I'm extremely simplifying our furniture as best I can, because I don't feel like spending 3 hours on a couch. Now here's the thing, it's not that she was upset, because she was still happy that I mentioned her for Mother's Day. It's just that I get more wordy with Dad. And most of the time when I talk about her for Mother's Day, it's mostly to praise her patience for raising and keeping somebody like me around. Somebody who pretty much decided to be aggressively myself after spending most of my life being told to shut up and behave. Not by her, mind you. She did ask me to behave, but she never told me to shut up. And that's worth its weight in gold, if you ask me. Because for some reason, Mom likes when I exist. People, when I were growing up, were not a fan of me existing. They made sure that I know. And nowadays, now that they're growing up, oh, Sharon, I'm so happy to see you. Yeah, you and your short-term memory. Do you still draw? And that's when I will just want to tell you to fuck off. Yes, I still draw because that's the only reason you're talking to me, isn't it? Because I got an award. I don't remember asking you to sign my yearbook, going to go get it, coming back and you had vanished. I remember that. And yes, I am very, very petty. Thanks for noticing. If you're wondering why I stop drawing once in a while, I'm stretching because of my issues. And I'm trying not to make my issues worse. My hand smells amazing. I accidentally hooked it when I was putting on deodorant earlier, and man, I landed on the best scent ever. And it was basically a blind purchase because nowadays it's not exactly like you can open product and smell them and put them near your holes to sample the scent. So it was like that one and ran off and put it on and I'm like, oh my god, I smell amazing. Probably going to need to wet clean my tablet again. It's getting sticky. I'm gonna check my nibs, see if I'm wearing it down. I don't see much wear. Funny how when I finally get all my spare nibs after wearing down the other ones, this one is actually solid. I don't know what's going on. Gotta love victory racers. I've also been, well, you guys are not going to see it in this live stream, but I've been practicing how I render colored skin. Sticking with some precise color palettes that I got off the Clip Studio Asset Store. That label which ones are shadows, which ones are blushes. And Paul is buttering my butt again. I'm really glad that you do these every week. It's nice to listen to you while I work. I check back every few minutes and it's amazing how much you get finished in that time. I just like to draw. I mean, I've been doing it for a while. You'd think I'd pick up speed. I was wondering why I keep making my mom's boobs bigger is because, well, they're huge. And I always underdraw them when sketching and penciling, so I try to adjust them to what they really are. And if some people worry, like, ew, Sharon, why do you focus so much on the size of your mom's boobs? And I'd be like, why are you sexualizing my mom's boobs? Especially when these people are shaped like this. But yeah, I've been practicing my skin tones. I've been also practicing with tracing off mannequins in the hopes that the depth perception will kick in eventually. Because you know how you hear about artists that have, what's it called, aphantasia? When they can't picture images in their minds? I don't have good depth perception. I definitely do not have aphantasia. That's not what I'm saying. Because Lord knows I see shit in my head. But I have no depth perception. I have some, but not as much as I should. Like, let's say you look at a face, you would be able to see the nose, like a face from the front there, completely frontal look of a face. You should be able to see the nose protruding out. You should be able to see the depth of the mouth. I don't see that. To me, a face is completely flat. Like, my brain understands, for example, if you're standing in front of a forest, my brain understands you're in front of a forest. My eyes see completely flat. I do see some depth, but not as much as I should. Like, the only time I see actual 3D is when I go see a 3D movie. And my mind is freaking blown to all the dimensions I get to see. Like, this is what you guys see all the time, holy shit! Like, I react the same way as colorblind people react when they put down those glasses that lets them see color. That's me. That's me right there. And like, there's literally tools and rulers and clip to let me draw with perspective, but it just doesn't work for me. Like, my brain refuses to understand how they work. Same goes for when I tried to learn them in high school during art class. It always came out somewhat wonky. So that is why I'm tracing over mannequins in the hopes of forcing myself to learn how shapes work in a third dimension. Because clearly just looking at one isn't working. So I'm hoping that by tracing mannequins and seeing how they come out, the muscle memory will kick in and something will click. And then my art will be better. Little baby Halo. I also gotta continue on Evoland 2. Right where I'm at, like, you're supposed to pick up 5 items. I've got 4. I know where to get the last one, but it's a strategy RPG section. I'm not that fond of strategy RPGs. Like, the ones that I would willingly play more often, like, would be like from the Suikoden series. Suikoden. Hang on. Oh, okay. Hang on, I'm got a text, I gotta reply to that real quick. Okay. Suikoden. Okay, I was right. But the thing is with Suikoden, at least one, because I played one in its entirety. I have it. I didn't 100% it, because sadly I let Pan die during a duel section, but what I like about Suikoden is that it's not just strategic RPG. It's strategic RPG, it's duels, it's regular turn-based battle RPG, and even if it has an incredibly stupid amount of characters, I did enjoy the story and the interactions. Now I do have Suikoden 2 on my PSP and Suikoden 5 for PlayStation 2, I believe. Well, anyway, it's a PlayStation 2 that I have. Backwards compatible, of course. Or else, how would I play Final Fantasy VII? But an entire game that's RPG strategy, not that big a fan. Because then you have to place your characters, and I do have some. I mean, I have Final Fantasy Tactics, the original one for PlayStation 1. Never really bothered to beat it. Because to me, it just kind of feels more repetitive than a regular... I think my thing is because you can't really visit the places you're going to, because I like to explore. And in most, at least to my experience, strategic RPGs, you just kind of go from point to point. Like, you guys remember playing the original, like, Super Mario Bros. 3 or Super Mario Bros. World, and you just went from point to point, and then you go into the level? It's kind of like that, but you don't really get a level. You get a point and click. Like, you go to a point, here's a screen. Me, I like to explore locales, I like to explore towns, I like to explore caves, and you don't get any of that usually in a strategic RPG. And that's why I do like the Suikodens, because it does let you explore areas. You can go into towns and talk to the people individually instead of going to a spot and talk exclusively to the bartender to know the lore and stuff like that. And meanwhile, in real life, I stay in the basement. Cannot let the day star hit my skin. Great, now I made my troll all scratchy. I'll finish inking this panel and then I'll drink a little something. So because of the way my color palette for skins is made, I have gotten into the recent habit of rendering the skin before I render everything else. As in add the shadows and the blushes. Because I really do try to incorporate the blushing in to try and make my skin tones look less dead. But the color palette that I downloaded was mostly Caucasian skins. So here's hoping it didn't delete itself. There it is. I made this one. If you guys can see in the lower left corner where I'm wiggling. Oh no. Phone ring. Hang on you guys, I'll be right back. Alright, phone call dealt with. I'm back. I'm not gonna start drawing again right away though because I brought back some cookies and I'm gonna have one right now because I'm the boss. And I'm back. For real. But yeah, as I was saying before we were so rudely interrupted, I made my own. I got the colors off of Twitter, but sadly it was a repost of a repost of a repost, so I have no idea who made the original palette, but I programmed it all painstakingly into Clip, and if I put it as a list, you got the base, the blush, and the shadow, the base, the blush, and the shadow. Eventually I would like to put it up on the asset store for free. And I would first like to find out who made the color palette, so I can first ask them permission, and if I have permission, credit them properly. Because to me, just having the colors and not knowing where they go doesn't help. That's why when I make my own color palettes, I label them. Ever since I learned how to label colors, holy crap, I have been doing it the entire time. Because I remember better when I write shit down. So yeah, being able to write down what color goes where, frickin' a game changer, I tell you what. Paul, after the stream, I'm going to annoy you about that thing that you talked to me about this week. See if there's any progress on that. Oh shoot, hang on. Sorry, I had the sneezies. For those worried, the audio is not cutting out. It's me muting the mic on purpose because I keep making non-ASMR sounds. And I'm trying to spare you guys. Oh, good. You've been chatting with Davis. You're a better man than I. I'm being a dick. I love Davis. That's true. He sent me a care package recently that arrived extremely fast, honestly. There was a thick-ass volume of Astro Boy. A slightly less thick, but nonetheless thick issue. Probably the entirety of the Lone Wolf and Cub manga. Volume 1. Volume 1, holy shit. At the size it is. Is the Astro Boy Volume 1 also, or? Book 1 and 2. Oh, neat. Oh yeah, look at that. 1 and 2. Some Astro Boy shot glasses and 2 copies of Auric A Long Winter that I did not participate in because it's in black and white, and being the colorist, that would have been a moot point. Paul loves Lone Wolf and Cub. Well, I'm looking forward to actually reading it. That's for sure. And again, I had my reservation when I opened the book at a random page just to see what the art was like. And the first thing I saw was like a vignette of Cub exposing himself pissing, and I'm like, oh geez, this is Dragon Ball in French all over again, isn't it? I don't even bother to check the labels on these because I know them by heart now. Which proves my point that I actually remember shit when I write it down. Which is why I decided to apply this by tracing mannequins, 3D models that I posed myself that are included in the version of Flip that I'm using. Hoping that by drawing with correct anatomy in more wild angles, muscle memory will kick in, and I'll be able to somewhat learn perspective. So I'm basically trying to trick myself into drawing better. And irony of ironies, I've actually unlocked audio audio lessons in Duolingo. Yeah, that's another thing I'm trying to remember. I downloaded this this quick tool. Which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't really do its best. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. It's always fun to experiment when doing art. Which is why I'm so addicted to getting new art supplies. Got a surprise paid commission to do yesterday, which I did kind of in a hurry, and already spent that money on more art supplies. Got some black, white, and blender Prismacolor pencils. That I actually needed, because I am doing a number on my black and white. So might as well order extras right away. And got a set of 12 colors of Gensai Tambi Kuretake watercolors that I've been wanting for a while. So I really want to find some time to try out the new manga stuff that I got. I want to see how sharp that craft blade is. Because while I do like my usual dollar store blade that I use to cut friskets, sometimes at random it will stop being sharp and it will snag or not cut well, and then I have to push like a maniac to get it to cut. Frisket film, mind you. I am not a serial killer. I'm clearly talking about frisket film. Oh, no, 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 no. We are not having Christmas in May, c'est pas vrai. I love Christmas music during Christmas time. As soon as Christmas is over, and to me that's January 2nd, I don't want to hear a single bell jingling in this house. I draw everybody's eyes hazel because it's easier. Dad's eyes are slightly browner than all of us, but it still registers as hazel because he doesn't have dark brown eyes. Mom just has the same eyes as I do. It's not a thing of it being easier, it's just Mom really does have the same eyes. Because you wouldn't believe it by our resting sheet, because Mom has really wide eyes. Like, they're almost round, they're so wide. In me, I have sleepy eyes like Dad. Until I widen them out. Because I have naturally sleepy eyes, people are used to seeing me squinting all the time. And then I open my eyes wide and people are like, huh! Because I inherited both eye shape. I have it like Jim Carrey levels of expressiveness in my face. And I don't care if it gives me a wrinkle, I'm going to use every single muscle in that face until it falls off. I don't care. I don't know what I have. I keep hitting the tilt button. I'm tilted! It's fun to know that at least somebody is working to my voice. That means there's somebody out there that focuses on somebody that is constantly complaining, screaming at random, And they're like, yes, I will focus on that sound. That is the sound I choose to provide better work. A screaming dwarf. A screaming dwarf that's never happy with anything. Yes, that is what will give me strength to proceed with my job. Oh man, you can tell I was working on something else earlier when I have to resize this brush so much. And I forgot to paint the phone down here. I'll do it in a while, because I'll notice once I finish with the background. Gotta make the word bubble perfect. gonna paint her phone and then we'll be done for today. I am getting this message, Paul. Paul is saying the chat is being weird. Hope you get this message. Your comic strip looks awesome. Thanks, Sharon. Maybe it's lagging again. But thank you, Paul. Very appreciated. I should probably put some weight in here. For a bit more contrast. There we go. Look at the little spot that I forgot. And this is why I check after I'm done. Yeah, I believe we're done for today. Come on, there we go. An hour and a half. Yeah, when you have a little bit of background, it always takes half an hour more, even if there's like barely any detail. So, as with every end of the stream, extra special sprinkle perfectly chicken fried season thanks to my patrons, Amber B, Jeff B, Paul K. Your continued support is immensely appreciated. Let me check the calendar real quick. Though I'm pretty sure, yeah. So, next live stream, of course, gonna be next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.